The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom.
What is going on, everybody? It is David Palmer, the Leo King, and it is post-debate time talk. It's my show, Astro Buzz, where we talk about the astrology and what's going on in the world. And I like doing these post-debate shows, even though they have caused lots of controversy in the past. So I'm just going to say this to everybody. Remember, while I do this show, that I believe that this is all just a fun video game we're watching. I think that there is so much going on behind the scenes of this election that is a distraction with this South Node Neptune conjunction going on, which we're going to talk a lot about today. But overall, it's time to, I think, put politics aside and view the conscious understanding of this world and how it is being played through this election. That is a topic that I really want to discuss today. That is something that I really want to get to the bottom of. Now, we are live in the chat room on Facebook here, if you're watching live on Facebook, so I will be paying attention to the chat. We also do have the planets loaded up from the Cosmic Watch app, the three-dimensional version where all the planets are. So we're going to talk about that today as well, and look at this Mars-Pluto conjunction that's happening, this moon that's been in Gemini. There's been a lot of stuff that's been happening in the zodiac today, and I will also show you the three-dimensional or the geocentric version of that as well in the chart. But I really want people to know that this talk today is very sensitive to a lot of people. A lot of people lose themselves in what side's right and what side's wrong. And let's just kind of overview. Well, first of all, maybe we should look at the planets for this first before we start getting all crazy in topics about what we're seeing in the debate and so forth. While I'm loading the chart, I want to say this. This debate definitely felt more debate-ish than circus-y. So this Mars-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, I think, definitely did a good job of that. And it did a good job of kind of keeping the energy in the right place. But I do believe that at the end of the day, the consciousness of our world right now, based off all these debates, based off these two candidates that we have as a collective manifested, have shown that decisiveness, both sides are equally guilty of separation. Both sides are equally deceiving by not even realizing that they're part of the deception. The reason why I say that is There is a lot more going on right now in the universe than we see on television. And the reason why I say that, and I'm going to go really deep in this today. Now, I'm going to do the planets exactly where they're at right now, post-debate. So post-debate, there's Mars and Pluto. They have officially conjuncted. They are conjuncting as we're speaking. This is a very powerful position. I almost thought that maybe there would be really intense fighting, but you know what? It was very pinpointed targeting of bombing off each candidate. Also, the moon, 22 degrees of Gemini, in this Mercury opposed Uranus energy. If you look at Uranus right now, 22 degrees Aries, Mercury coming into 22nd degree. So the moon was involved with Mercury and Uranus, and I think that this involved a very, people-based debate. And it also, I think, made the energy seem like this is a little bit wider than just politics. But what I really want to focus on, too, outside of all the politics, is today I was at the Getty Museum in LA, and there is the Art of Alchemy exhibit there, which is showcasing all the alchemy books and all of the alchemy history, not only astrology based, but of, looking at different chemical compounds, but more importantly, just the real hidden truth out there of this great science we call astrology, of this great science we call God, to be honest with you. And I actually have some pictures here of what I saw today, which is so cool that I can do this. And this is where the deception is happening. It's not by what is going on with, I guess you could say, with like Trump and Hillary. What's going on is the deception that there is so much information out there that nobody is paying attention to. So let's see. Like for a good example today, I still don't even understand this yet. But this was a periodic table, but an alchemist table of chemicals, but it was based upon using planetary energies as well. There are so many things about this universe, and if you look at the way that the ancients especially carved the universe, okay, they did it, of course, with the hermetic art of truth at the center, which is Mercury. See that Mercury at the center of the well, this isn't a chart, but this is a very powerful thing. You can see the man with the sun and the woman with the moon. This is all straight today from the museum. By the way, this museum is only in town from October 11th till February of 2017 in LA. So this is like really intense information here. But if you notice, the woman is chained to the reality, which we can see here, and the man is chained to the reality, as you can see here. On top of that, Mercury is at the center, and the hermetic art is astrology, and which is truth. And on both sides of this debate, both sides are guilty of not expressing full truth. I don't even want to get into it, because then people in the chat room are going to go crazy saying, Hillary's the liar and Trump's the liar and blah, 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 blah. But what the truth is that nobody is talking about is the system that's in place, which I'm going to come back to this picture here, is a slave system. They are debating about who can give the slaves a better life. Hillary wants to give the slaves $15 an hour to live a slave life. Donald Trump wants to give people lower taxes to make their slave life easier. Whichever way you want to look at it, you are still stuck in this reality. Now, the only way to find some sort of peace in this reality is to realize the truth. And it's interesting if you look at the duality. Look at this guy. This guy is what got me the most. Here's the duality, the dark and the light side. Here's the two lions as well that are doing this. And the sun's at the center of this. Sorry, it looks like 2-run score. Oh, man, the Cubs are winning right now. Anyway, the humans in this depiction as well are stuck in the reality, and the firmament up here is where the heavens are and the angels. The problem with this debate is there is the death of truth happening on the planet. This is why I do this show. A lot of people, I think, took me wrong for the last couple shows of my debate because I got too involved with the politics. The politics don't mean crap. Neither candidate is going to help bring back this understanding and truth. We got some more pictures here. Oh, there's me and Rick Levine. Tomorrow, him and I will be doing a cool video, but this was us in front of it big today. I got some other cool pictures here. So here it is again. Here's a little different depiction, though. The tree of life, but also here's the zodiac with the hermetic science at the center, Mercury, which is the truth bringer. I wasn't allowed to take pictures of this book, but I did anyway. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is in the old, this book was done in the 1500s, okay? Actually, it was like late 1400s, but 1500s. Okay, when you used to go out to Saturn, past Saturn is the fixed stars, okay? You could see that in the stars, right? Maybe it's better if I do this. All right. That's so much easier. Okay? So here's the reality at the center. Here's, of course, you could see the planets and a lot of their connection, Leo. You can see everything in here. But outside the rings of the planets come the stars. But then outside that stars come the angels and God. And the problem is both candidates in this election, I haven't heard talk about God for real. I'm going to be honest with you. Both candidates haven't talked about God. Both candidates know nothing about this great science and godly connection. They don't. And you know what? People are asking for the name of the book. The name of the book, the one that I want, is All Things from One, from Wolfgang Kilian, German, in 1581 through 1662. I don't even know if you can get it in English. But my whole point is that we are stuck in a world where they don't want us to come outside of that stuck world, Saturn's rulership, and step into the angelic realms. They want to keep you trapped here in this world, whether it's $15 an hour and you feel great because you're getting $15 an hour, or great that your taxes are lower and you can make a little bit more money to spend on Sony TVs that you spent a lot of money in that broke on Mercury oppose Uranus. This TV went out. Like literally I plugged it in and went out. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's freaking bull. It's just shit anyway. It doesn't matter. Because at the end of the day, I'm still stuck here in this office, in this universe, and I can't leave. Now, I know probably a lot of people were thinking that we were going to go to a totally different way of looking at this debate of saying, oh no, Trump's right. Oh no, Hillary's right. Or no. The history of the world is dying. The history of the truth is dying. And that's what we need to, as people, wake up to and understand. Because that's the most important thing that's happening right now. And astrology is hermetic. And if you don't know what hermetic means, it just means that it's mercurial. It means that there's truth to it. Here's a picture of Rick today, and here's Hermes itself, and the messenger. And there's a part now in our world where with Neptune square, or actually square Saturn, but Neptune conjunct the South Node, and with where Mercury's at right now in opposition to Uranus, we have to wake up to a higher truth, that there is more than just being stuck in this bubble. There is more than just like continuing to feed the beast that keeps us from expanding to wider and greater and better places in this world. And that's what's so scary to me, is that we are at a place where tonight's a good example. I was in LA and the Dodger game's going on and the debate's happening at the same time. So everybody's running subconsciously to the debate and to the Dodger game. While I was going to run as fast as I could to get here to do the show, and believe it or not, I was in traffic for 2.5 hours to get here. And I listened to the whole debate while I was driving. But I literally walked in here and went on right after leaving the museum. And I had this huge epiphany that we are fighting right now over a land, an earth. But more important than that, it's a reality that we are closed off to, that we are deceived about, that we don't know the truth of what's really going on. And these distractions keep you from seeing this beautiful truth. And the problem is when you really take a look at the science and what's really out there, you'll actually start to notice that the real truth of this world is that once you learn to unlock yourself from the chains, whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, and see the truth, you will ascend to heaven. Which is what subconsciously Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump don't realize they feed. They feed a system. And why do you think Mars and Pluto are conjunct in Capricorn? Why do you think they're conjunct in Capricorn right now? Control. We can look this at as a better way to put this is Mars and Pluto is we could put this as a way of, okay, Mars and Pluto conjunct is going to be a big battle. Well, the actual battle is not the battle of Trump and Hillary. It's the battle for who can keep the show going better so people don't understand the actual, real understanding of this truth of how the world works. And the person behind the curtain isn't all that friendly, believe it or not, is even what the ancients show us, and is protected, even though I am a Leo and I represent the lion, but I don't know about these lions. Now, this lion is a different story, empowering you with light and love. And the phoenix rising. But we live in a world that's trying to cut you on both sides. And that's why at the top of this middle is at the center Mercury and the truth, and the mind stamina and the mind state to know where you're at. You can also see all 12 signs of the zodiac at the top of this. So this book was done literally in the 1600s. It was 1581. Well, that's how long he lived. But yeah, this book was happening at the end of the 16th century during the Renaissance period and right before Copernican's theory. And there's actually so many more pictures that I do have. But, it was interesting. Everybody at the Getty Center was at the main hall where you see the beautiful Rembrandt pictures and you see the beautiful Italian paintings and you see the beautiful, paintings of even the Dutch paintings, which are kind of boring, I had to admit, but they were fun. I'm Dutch, so if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much, but it was fun to watch. But that's where everybody went. When it came to this whole alchemy section, not a lot of people were over there. I don't even think people know what alchemy is. And that's what this election actually is getting you to fight each other to still be both slaves to the same world that you will be stuck in. Neither side can get you out except a higher truth that is being suppressed, that is left in old books, that is not transferred and shown to us as children anymore. It's not shown to us on television. It's not shown to us anywhere. You have to go to a museum in the back corner at a very rare time where nobody knows about it. There's no TV commercials about it. There's no nothing about it. And to be honest with you, it had to be literally, 7 astrologers today that went out and were deciphering this stuff, because who else is out there to decipher this information anymore? There's nobody left. Because everybody's squabbling over shit, over trying to debate who's more right than the other person for the same system that hides and holds and controls you from the truth. And on this third debate, sure, there's always going to be a side that even that subconsciously is built in every person that is alive has the side they want to pick. I don't care who you are. There's a side that you lean more towards. What's difficult is to rise above to a point that is higher. How ironic that the heart's above my head, of love, and rise over those and see a greater vision. This is why our third eye is here, above our dualistic areas, at the center of our left and right brains. And no matter what, you're going to pick a side. No matter what, you're still going to go to the poll and elect whoever you're going to pick on what side. And that's fine. But I think what you should be paying the most attention to is how to bring the truth of the world back out there and realize that we are stuck in a system. And that's what this Capricorn energy is all about, is this stuck in a system with Pluto at the half mark. This is people either really realizing that the system is corrupt or falling 100% for the system and going to feed it everything it wants. That's what Mars on top of Pluto is right now. Do you realize that the system is here to control you and manipulate you and use you for its higher gains? you know, I said in a live video last night, there was a great guy named Max Spires who just died. And he talked a lot about more Illuminati, Palladian, but more importantly, like reptilian, Anunnaki, the dark forces more that are trying to control this world. And I don't talk about that stuff a lot. I'm more of an astrologer, so I go off what the astrology says. That's my guide. But I can't lie to you when I look at the astrology and with all the alignments of what's coming up over the next 4 years of Capricorn, it will play two ways. It will play either that you feed the system and feed the rules and feed these controlled power structures more and more of what they want because you're asleep and you fall for the bullshit, or you wake up and you help change the system and change the rules and realize it is a messed up, I don't want to say world, but reality that we are all stuck in or stuck under. Think about that long and hard. I am going to take a quick break and get a drink of water, and we'll be talking about this more when I come back, and we'll be talking to you in the chat room in just a sec. Wake up to astrology like you've never seen before. So we are back now, and I'm reading the chat room, and there's a lot of people that are in the chat, which I'm going to want to bring up here because a lot of people are saying a lot of good things that make me feel good to see and to touch and to connect with and to hear. And I will bring it up here live on screen once we get it going here. But this election is much more than these politics. This election is about whether or not you're going to wake up to the show that's happening, that's taking you away from that truth, that's taking you away from that alchemy and taking you away from understanding all the power and the information that builds the great soul and the human. And because the information that people know today are what's the score of the Cubs-Dodgers game? Did Trump do better than Hillary? And these are the stories that are pushed on the press now. When I talk about the world being in a place right now where we're being deceived, it's more than just people are thinking that it's deceiving of what side is better and what side's deceiving the other to win the game. And that could be very true on a very minimal sense. But the deeper sense of this deception is actually going into the deception that you are stuck in a reality that they do not want you to understand. They do not want you to know. They do not want you to know why you're here. They do not want you to know any of it. All of the good art, all of the good energy, and all the good books of everything is now left into museums that nobody goes to, that everybody is just washed. Nobody cares about the information. Nobody's talking about it in the mainstream. All we talk about are the things now that are bad. All we talk about are the things that don't really mean crap. All we talk about are the things that don't actually hold any truth or true power to empower each human being. Every human being is not empowered by a health insurance plan that's going to be better for you, or giving you more money, whether it's your taxes being less or whether you're being taxed more and given more money with better programs. All that is bullshit, because the only way to get to your true and 100% power is you have to understand the rules that the universe is built off of, which unfortunately are left in these books that you can't go buy at a bookstore anymore. Some of them you can. I actually bought some of them today. But nobody's looking in this place. This is not the information that they want you to see. Neither is this the information that the church wants you to see. To be honest with you. You know why? You can't even read it. You can't even read it. Read that for me. And this is, to me, how funny the fight of the Donald Trump and the feminine, the masculine and the feminine right now. But both are chained to a reality that it doesn't matter who you think is going to win this battle, because the grandmaster in the middle is controlling both sides either way. The Oz is controlling this. The dark and the light is controlling this. How do we reach this heaven or nirvana, which is in Hebrew here, of living in a higher state? And this is where the angelic realms are. And that's really where I feel everything is at today. Now, if we go to the chat room, some people are saying we need to work on keeping our frequencies high and respond for that. Work to educate as many as possible about things like sacred geometry and real history. Yes, that is very true. Cats are very awesome. Yes. Feed the sheep and hides the truth. Yes. You know, I'm going to come back to the chat room, but this debate, you know what it was? We have been so high off of, because South Node and Neptune is a high, okay? We get high off these debates. But after this third one, I wasn't high off it anymore. I was like, you know what? I've heard it every time. I've seen it every time. I can't get high off this shit no more. It's like a drug. It's the greatest reality show that was ever created. South Node conjunct Neptune. Neptune rules the media. Neptune rules TV. Neptune rules film. Neptune rules television. Neptune rules movies. Neptune rules television shows. Neptune rules all the imaginary things. And it is limitless. Neptune is limitless. They will go to any limit to make the greatest reality show of all time and deceive you from realizing it. You tuned in. You put all your energy into it, and you fed that energy to them. You fed that energy to a system to keep a system that restricts you from learning the truth as much as possible. And that's where this is crazy. Because South Node conjunct Neptune, while in the age of Pisces, while we had the Pisces eclipses, while we're still in the 6-month cycle of a Pisces eclipses, is the most insane time you can live in. And you know what is insane? It is not insane that it's Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton up there running for president. It's insane that you fight over these two people. It's insane that you lose your stress, your anxiety, your soul and your life to these two people. It's insane that you get high off these two people. It's insane that you lose your friendships, your connections, your love, your happiness off these two people. It's insane that you forget the power in the true reality of who you really are and what is the universe really all about, because you have never learned it. You have never looked for it. You have let the world tell you exactly the way to be. You have let the world direct you the way to be. You have let the world tell you how you should be, how you should look, how you should wear, how much money you should could make that you are only 150,000 a year, or you're 250,000 a year, or you're poor because you only make 40,000 a year. You are segregated. You are told that you are these things when you don't even know your truth, your power, because you don't know jack diddly squat about the universe at all, because you've never even taken the time to look. You've never taken the time to decipher it. You've never even taken the time to take yourself off of that television and actually question it yourself, and actually look deep inside of your heart and look deep inside of yourself and go, there is something effing wrong here. And at the end of the day, there is something wrong here. And you know what's wrong? It is you not waking up. It is you not paying attention. It is you not finding your own power. It is you not manifesting your own power. It is you being told that, you know what, I'm going to be very open and frank right here, that ego is bad. Do you think all these things were put in place? They want to depower you. They want to make women more masculine, and they want to make men more feminine so they could distract everyone, so that they can water down everyone. They want more Caitlyn Jenners in the world. I hate to be honest with you. Now, some people would say there's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, they want to get rid of your true essence. I hate to bring up the truth of the way this universe works, is there are feminine and there are masculine. And you've got to understand how they work, and they have to work together. They can't be, they are both chained to the same system, but they need to work together to find a way to break this cycle, to reach a higher dimension. Or you are just stuck down here with horrible, whoever you want to call it, Anderson Cooper with his two little sticks here, fucking your life and telling you what to do and how to live it, and you living it all fucking day long. I'm amped. I got a lot of energy. I don't even drink caffeine or nothing like that. But you know what? That's what's going down. Like, that's just the truth. That's how I feel. That's what's really going on. And you know what? I'll be right back.
And I feel that hope has been really shitty on the planet.
To reach heaven or into the heavens of God. What the hell is going on? What's going on?
To have the right perception.
Hope in the desert to me is the hope that people are going to be willing to really just pay attention to their own research and make a decision, whatever it might be, to just bring to that place of oneness. Because that's the trajectory, that's the destination. Yeah, I'm heated up. That's true. Because, and let me bring this back. It is such, and I found this today, this picture. I had never seen it before. I really hadn't. And I'm sure other maybe astrologers had, but you know, it's interesting to see the actual picture from the book that's over 600 years old, 500, 600 years old, and actually see it and actually be in it and be in its presence and channel that energy today towards you. It's different when you're there. It's different when you have it. It's different when you're in that. And that's what I realized on today. And I have been actually preaching about this in the astrology for a long time. And that's what actually built this whole Leo King brand. And that's what's built this whole thing. But this election, this stuff is just distractions, folks. You know, don't lose yourself in it. I started to lose myself the other day when the Dodgers lost to the Cubs in game 1. Then they came back and won the last 2 games, and it gave me a high. Now they're losing tonight, and I don't feel good. And it's like, wow, the universe, or not the universe, because the universe we come from, and let me actually go back to the picture today that I took a picture of that actually shows how the rings of the universe work here. But I want to say this. You can lose yourself in this stuff. Lose yourself in a sports team. Lose yourself in your candidate and the battle for it. You know? It's like when you lose yourself into this stuff, you give away your sovereignty. You give away your energy. You give away everything that makes you powerful. You give away all of your manifesting power. Because it's distracted. It's jumbling you. And it's because, and here's another way to look at it, they do not want you to come out of this trap. They want you to stay in these rings and live in this universe and never reach the outer realms of heaven that go past after Saturn and the stars. Now, of course, they didn't know about the outer planets then, which is funny because there's 3. Oh my gosh, I got to tell some of the astrologers I was with today. These could be the 3 outer planets, the 3 outer dimensional realms of subconscious that were found after Saturn that they didn't even realize would be found later, that they were subconsciously actually tripping on. Wow. They didn't find Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto until after this was made. Not until the 1800s and 1900s, right? They were about 85, 90 years apart that each one was found. 1930 is when they found Pluto, so it would be this outer reach. 1840 is when they found Neptune, and then it's like 80 years before that in the 1700s, they found Uranus. Now, outside of that, though, is this world that we don't know about. Some people call it the alien world. This is an interesting portrait as well. And this was about the world of chaos that we live in. And, you know, it is chaotic world. And to bring order to that is to understand, I guess, the magic of the universe. And this is a world that is so chaotic. And they like to keep us in this chaotic world because it feeds it. It keeps it sustained. Because what were to happen if we were to all leave this world? The true free will is outside of these worlds. Because when we're stuck in this world, free will is not at 100%. And we are all stuck. The only free will we have is to be aware and to be aware of how to get out. Just as easy as we all got in, there is a way for us to all get out. So somebody just wrote in the chat room, isn't there order in chaos? And you know what's funny is the order of the planets seem to be happening in such a perfect order. Yet, in the middle of a world full of chaos, the order of the sun that rises and sets every day, as peaceful as it is, or the way that the birds chirp every day. And we've got 2 of the ugliest people on the planet. And I shouldn't even say that because then I'm buying into that whole thing. But let's just, we all agree. Because they're unconsciously not realizing they're feeding this system. But at the end of the day, there's these beautiful, organized, beautiful, order happening. And there's chaotic universe everywhere. And so instead of focusing so much on giving your energy away to this, give your energy to a higher place. Give your energy to this and figuring out what's going on and figuring out how to get out. You know, there is power in understanding the laws of the universe, understanding the connection between God and the universe. But only you can do that work. Only you can do that studying. Only you can do that research. Only you can find that power deep within. Only you can have that true energy inside to give yourself that freedom of that repression that the world is trying to hold you in of chaos. Somebody said the system is coming down for sure. You know, Capricorn is a very, very intense, structured sign. And yes, I do agree that Pluto will ultimately change it. But how many cycles of Pluto does it take to create out of this system? And based on the fact that we're still in this system, sure, maybe the system of what we call governments and what we call the human systems of control might fall. But I want you to think much deeper, much harder, much more wider than that. What if the system of this reality still has never changed? And I thought about this today, that when you're in this system, and after being at this museum today and seeing all this old astrological alchemy art, this system hasn't changed still. But when you look at paintings and when you look at these big things of humans even 600 years ago, sure, it was a different system then. There were kings. When I'm looking at like Louis the Second, or you know, the King Louis II, the French, you know, desk he wrote all of his crap on, or I'm looking at all of the beautiful paintings of beautiful people way back the 500-600. Even today, you know, we saw a painting all the way that was back in the 1200s of Jesus. They're still in the same system. They're still eating, breathing, drinking water, wine, having sex, going through breakups, talking about the universe, looking at the stars, debating over who's a better king, who's a better politician, who's a better diplomat, who we should go to war with. That system has not changed. Still paying with money, maybe not paper money, but with gold, or paying with food and doing trade, which we'll see all trade. But at the end of the day, the system just keeps running and running and running and running and running and running and running. The one thing about Capricorn and why Saturn rules this reality, and the reason why Saturn is here in every drawing all the way out to the edge of the universe, with where the stellium of the stars are. And even though you want to call those planets outside of the fixed stars, you want to call them planets, they are not within Saturn's grip. They are infinite. They are subconscious. They can reach outside into those other realms of reality. That's why when you have outer planet transits happen to you, you can't handle them in a more realistic way. You feel like you're being touched by an alien, a god, the devil, crazy things that just don't feel earthly to you, because they're not in the same system as you. They are outside the system. And that's my post-debate talk for today. It was fun talking with you all. We'll talk more if you actually download my movie, Hope in the Desert, which is an awesome movie, by the way. It's a 4-hour movie. It's a 4-hour movie. And it literally goes into all this stuff, more about the church, though, and more about what's really going on with this stuff. So I ask you to take a look, because my movie Age of Deception goes deep into all these subjects and to understand what's really, really going on. I appreciate you for subscribing to my channel. If you are on the Leo King app, I truly appreciate you watching the daily horoscopes every day, getting your sun sign horoscopes, getting your daily notifications, the weekly tarot, the daily tarot, and more importantly enough, the weekly intuitive report. The new apps are coming out real soon. They're in development right now. I appreciate all the support. I thank you so much for watching me. Tomorrow, we'll see. I've been talking to Rick Levine. I think he is coming here to the studio tomorrow, and we're planning to create some waves. So if you know who he is, and if you're in the astrology community, you should be watching the Leo King channel tomorrow, because there'll be some stuff that will be a lot of fun to do. And to be honest with you, I can't do a whole show and talk about the secrets of all the universe. I had to make a movie to do it, and all I can do is point a little bit of the way by doing shows like this. I hope that this show helped you. I hope that this show gave you more to look at and a different perspective of what's going on in the election. Thanks so much for all the support. I truly appreciate it, and I will see you on my next Astro Buzz subject on my live Facebook.
Yeah.